Welcome to our flying adventures. It's all about the journey. Here we're getting ready to depart from Vero Beach, runway 30 left. I picked up my clearance with ground and taxied out. The only thing we're going to hear today is a little bit of engine noise. Somehow I must have disconnected the microphone plug into the rear headset plug, or the rear headset jack. So it's going to be some narration and try and make the best of it, just to show a few views, takeoff and landings, what I can. I was holding for traffic there to land it, and then I was given taxi into position and hold. I had a Cessna school plane out in front of me. They turned him off early, and then they released us for takeoff. They gave me a radar vector heading 300, climb and maintain 2000. And they were going to give me vectors to head towards Melbourne and then as filed, or to join Victor 3, which was as filed. So here we are climbing out. It's not too warm. The last day we were there, I think it was in the 60s. Here we are bringing the gear up. And then we'll bring some flaps up. So it was a nice smooth takeoff. The ride was good at this point. It does get a lot worse. As I said, I'm just going to fast forward through a lot of this and just cut out some highlights and post those, since I had no ATC audio. Here we are coming up on Daytona Beach, the airport and the speedway. Again, the ride wasn't too bad here until we got above 2,000 and got up to, I think I flew back at 5,000. And it was a rodeo ride all the way to the Chesapeake Bay. So it was a good 2 hours of getting kicked in the pants the whole way. Mary and I weren't too happy about that. But there you go, that's Daytona International, and the speedway is just there on the north side of the airport. Alright, next we're going to transition to just off of Seabrook Island. At this point we're going to turn in and head towards Mount Pleasant Regional Airport. Kilo Lima Romeo Oscar. We're approaching the airport. I'm going to cross over. I'll drop the gear, enter the left downwind for 17. It was a rough ride through here, even down into the pattern. It was pretty bumpy. I thought once I turned base it wouldn't be too bad. I turned base to final, and it gave me a pretty good ride right down to the runway. But we got it on the ground safely, taxied in, took on 30 gallons of fuel. As Mary went inside to grab something to drink, I put a quart of oil in, dropped the quart, should have let it drop on the ground. I grabbed it, which made it flip and splashed all over the cowling, all over my shirt. I ended up having to clean everything up. It was a real mess. Here I am, just turning base to final. I think I went with 2 notches of flaps. Winds were pushing pretty good. I think on short final you can see a little bump and a little float. There you go, seeing some corrections. Here's a bobble. It was a fun ride. It was a fun ride, that's for sure, getting in. But we landed on 17. took on 30 more gallons of fuel, and then launched for home. Wow, I think I counted 3 landings there. I might have to update my logbook. Okay, we taxied out and did our run-up. Here we are departing Mount Pleasant for Ocean City. Skies are looking good. It was pretty slow at Mount Pleasant as we got ready to take off. Not a lot of traffic. I think the wind scared a lot of people off. It'd be nice if I moved that visor out of the way so we could all see. Alright, final's clear. Just made my look there. Let's turn it into the wind and get going. Winds were favoring us heading north, so I think our planned time was about 2 hours and 45 or 47 minutes. She made good power. Typical climb out in about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,100 feet. Got about 54, 55 gallons on board. We're about 5 or 10 pounds under gross. Again, the weather was a little bit cooler coming north than when we had went down. I just called for gear up, and then once climb out a little farther and the speed looks good and we're clear of obstacles, I'll bring the flaps up. Alright, let's speed on up, and here we are approaching Ocean City. Beach is looking good. Temps are probably, I think, mid-60s. 62 to 67-ish. So the temps are feeling pretty good. I made my calls. There was one aircraft departing. I think he went north. And then I was going to enter a left downwind for runway 32. And head in. There's always something to be said for seeing the skyline once you're back at your home airport. But you still got to keep on it and fly the plane all the way till you tie it down. We were anxious to get home and pick up our zoo. Go pick up Ziva and the boys. Here I am, left downwind, 3-2. As you can see, the in-transit lights on. I just dropped the gear. Went through my gumps check. I usually do multiple times. Here I am going through them there. You can. It looks like I just turned the pump on. I'll leave this run a little bit longer so we can see the Ocean City up ahead. Once we turn base, here we go. Airport again was not too busy. There was one twin holding short of 3-2 for me to land. Overall, a good trip, except for the ride. And like I mentioned before, it was a smooth ride once we crossed the Chesapeake Bay, but the 2 hours before that were brutal, just absolutely brutal. And trust me, editing this video, Mary's back and my back are both sore from getting beat up. All right, here we are coming over Assateague. No ponies on the beach today. Short final. Might be able to see the twin engine there. Yeah, he's just coming in the view. Carried a little bit of speed coming in. There's the twin. Carried a little bit of speed, a little bit bouncy. Set it down. Had no intention of making that first turn off and using up any brakes. So I just let it roll out to the end and called clear. And that made for the end of our trip. So we burned about 120 gallons of gas for 1,720 miles round trip. Had a great time. Thanks for watching. Look forward to getting the next video out as soon as possible. Take care. Fly safe.